Roger Federer, often referred to as the maestro of tennis, has crafted one of the most iconic legacies in the sport's history. With 20 Grand Slam titles, an Olympic gold in doubles, and 103 career titles, Federer's elegance, precision and grace on the court have made him a global icon. From his unmatched dominance on grass, highlighted by a record 8 Wimbledon titles, to holding the record for the most consecutive weeks as the world number one, including an incredible 237 weeks, Federer has left a lasting mark on the sport of tennis. Yet, even with all of these incredible accomplishments, Federer has endured some heartbreaking defeats over his 2-decade career. In this video, I'm going to rank the top 5 most painful Grand Slam losses of Roger Federer's career. These losses had a significant impact on Federer's GOAT case, shaping how his career is remembered in tennis history. In number 5, the 2011 French Open final defeat to Rafael Nadal. At the 2011 French Open, the spotlight wasn't even on Federer. Most of the attention was on Djokovic and Nadal. Djokovic, on a 41-match unbeaten streak and looking unstoppable, was widely expected to reach the final. But Federer, playing some of his best clay court tennis in years, maybe ever, delivered a masterclass in the semi-finals, ending Djokovic's incredible run in 4 sets. Federer came out the blocks quick in this final. He broke Nadal early, was serving well, mixing up beautifully, and before you know it, he was up 5-2 in the first set. He even had a set point to put Nadal under serious pressure, but then it slipped away. He couldn't close it, and of course, Nadal being Nadal, clawed his way back and somehow stole the set 7-5. It was a crushing setback. Nadal kept the momentum going in the second set, breaking Federer right away, but credit to Roger, he dug in, forced a tiebreak and made Nadal work for it. Still, Rafa took it 7-3, and just like that, Federer was staring at 2 sets to love deficit. But he wasn't done yet. Federer fought back and grabbed the third set 7-5, showing flashes of the magic that had taken down Djokovic just days earlier. The crowd was buzzing, you could feel it, maybe the comeback was on. Early in the fourth set, Federer had 3 break points at love 40. 3 golden chances to flip the match. If he converts even one of those, who knows how the match might have turned out. But Nadal, as he always does, played his best when it mattered most. He saved them all, held serve, and from there Federer's level dropped. Rafa broke him twice and closed out the match emphatically 6-1. This was a painful defeat for Federer. Sure, Nadal was the favourite coming into the match, but after his semi-final win, Federer sensed a real opportunity to finally beat Rafa at Roland Garros. Given how the match unfolded, he should have at least pushed Nadal to a 5th set, something no one had ever done before in the final. Imagine what it could have meant for his legacy if he had beaten Djokovic and Nadal back-to-back. In number 4, the 2009 US Open final defeat to Juan Martín del Potro. Federer came into the 2009 US Open as the heavy favourite. He had won 5 straight titles in New York, hadn't lost there since 2003 with a 40-match winning streak, and owned a 6-0 record against Del Potro, a player appearing in his first Grand Slam final. Everything pointed to title number 6. Early on, it looked like business as usual. Federer came out sharp, took the first set 6-3, and broke in the opening game of the second. He was in control for most of that set, looking set to take a 2-0 lead as he served at 5-4. But then, out of nowhere, Del Potro turned the match around. He ripped a forehand down the line to set up a breakpoint opportunity. Then followed up with a brilliant partial shot to break back. 2 clutch back-to-back shots that completely changed the momentum of the set. Neither player gave up serve after that, and it went to a tiebreak. Del Potro capitalized on the momentum, winning the tiebreak 7-5 to take the set 7-6. The third set saw a bit of drama. Federer had a heated exchange with the umpire over a challenge call and looked rattled.
Shouldn't be allowed that much time.
The ball was called out. He was talking to me.
Yeah, come on. I wasn't allowed to challenge like after 2 seconds. The guy takes like 10 every time. I can't allow that stuff.
Test review reveals it was out.
Do you have any rules in there? Stop showing me the hand, okay? Don't tell me to be quiet, okay? When I want to talk, all right? I don't give a shit.
But to his credit, he bounced back immediately, breaking Del Potro and taking the set 6-4. Yet, the Argentine refused to back down. He kept applying pressure, and the 4th set turned into a real battle. Federer had multiple breakpoint chances, but couldn't convert. It went to another tiebreak, and this time too, Del Potro held his nerve, winning it 7-4 to take the set 7-6. Then came the 5th, and this is where things got brutal for Federer. Del Potro came out absolutely flying. Look at the way he was hitting that cross-court forehand. It was just unplayable. Federer just couldn't handle the power. Del Potro broke him early and raced to a 2-0 lead. Federer had the chance to break back at 30-40 in the next game, but he missed his opportunity, sending it backhand long. Del Potro held serve and never looked back. From there, even though Federer managed to hold his own service games, he couldn't get anywhere near breaking Del Potro in his next two. Del Potro cruised to a 5-2 lead, and in the 8th game of the set, he had 2 championship points on Federer's serve. Federer saved both and even had a chance to hold, which would have forced Del Potro to serve it out. But on the 3rd opportunity, Federer sent it backhand long, and with that, the match was over. Del Potro had claimed his first Grand Slam title. For Federer, this loss was painful, even 10 years later in 2019 when an interviewer from Vogue asked him, "Who do you want to rematch with?" He said, "Del Potro US Open Final 2009.
Who do you want a rematch with?
Maybe Del Potro US Open Final in 2009.
Federer had been up 2-1, had chances in the 4th, and still watched it slip away. It was a missed opportunity for history. He had a shot at tying Bill Tilden's record of 6 straight US Open titles, and it slipped right through his fingers. This was a match he knew he should have won, and it ended up being one of the toughest losses of his career. In number 3, the 2009 Australian Open final defeat to Rafael Nadal. The 2009 Australian Open final was one of the most memorable Grand Slam matches of all time. Both players were chasing history. Federer was going for his 14th Grand Slam title to tie Pete Sampras' record, while Nadal was trying to become the first Spaniard to win the Australian Open. After a 5-hour semi-final against Fernando Verdasco, many wondered if Nadal had enough left in the tank, but as always, he stepped up when it mattered most. At the start of the match, Federer looked shaky. His opening service game was full of unforced errors and he was broken immediately, but he bounced back straight away. The second game on Nadal's serve turned into a mini battle, with both players trading blows in a series of intense rallies and incredible shot making. Federer broke back to level things at 1-0. From there, momentum kept shifting. With Federer leading 3-2, he broke Nadal to go up 4-2 and looked to have grabbed control. But just like that, Nadal broke right back. Both players held serve through the next few games until the 11th, when Nadal pounced. He broke Federer to go up 6-5, giving himself the chance to serve for the first set. Nadal managed to close it out, taking the opener 7-5. In the second set, Nadal continued to apply pressure. He managed to break Federer in the 5th game, taking a 3-2 lead and appearing to be in complete control up a set and a break, with the momentum clearly in his favour. But things began to shift. Federer broke back to level the score, held serve and then broke Nadal again to move in front. Just like that, he won 3 games in a row and found himself serving for the set. He went on to close out 6-3, leveling the match at 1 set all. The 3rd set was a battle with both players stopped in long punishing rallies. Each had chances to break. Nadal even had a set point late on, but time and time again they rose to the moment, saving break points under pressure. It stayed on serve all the way to a tiebreak, and that's when Nadal kept his nerve and came up clutch. Federer made a few costly errors and Nadal pounced. He took the break at 7-3 and moved just 1 set away from the title. But Federer wasn't done yet. He responded well after the disappointment of dropping the 3rd set, coming out strong in the 4th and breaking Nadal right away to go up 2-0. Nadal broke back immediately to stay in touch, but at 3-2 Federer struck again, breaking in the 6th game to take a 4-2 lead. That second break made the difference. Federer stayed solid on serve and closed out the set 6-3, pushing the final into a deciding 5th. In the 5th set, it was Nadal who took control. Federer's level started to drop and the unforced service began to pile up. Nadal broke for 3-1, then held serve to extend his lead to 4-1. Both players held serve in the next 2 games, bringing the score to 5-2. Nadal was now just 1 game away from the title, and he capitalised. He broke Federer's serve once more to close out 6-2, winning his first Australian Open title. This was a painful defeat for Federer, as it was his 3rd straight Grand Slam final loss to Nadal, each on a different surface. On clay at Roland Garros, Nadal defeated him in a one-sided final. On grass at Wimbledon, he outlasted him in an epic. And now on hard court in Melbourne, Nadal claimed the Australian Open title as well. Federer had also missed the chance to become the joint Grand Slam title record holder. Despite being in the prime of his career and widely considered the best player of the 2000s, Federer kept running into a rival who had beaten him more often than not. In number 2, the 2008 Wimbledon final defeat to Rafael Nadal. The 2008 Wimbledon final between Federer and Nadal is widely considered the greatest tennis match ever played. Coming in as the 5-time defending champion, Federer was aiming for a record-breaking 6th consecutive title. Nadal, his fierce rival, had pushed him to the brink the previous year. This time, he was determined to go 1 step further. Federer had a slow start and was broken early in the 3rd game, allowing Nadal to take control and eventually claim the first set 6-4. However, Federer came back strong in the second set. He broke early, held serve and raised to a 3-0 lead. It looked like he was cruising, but Nadal broke back in the 7th game, held his service game to level the set at 4-4, then broke again before serving it out to claim another 6-4 set. Rain interrupted the third, but when play resumed, both players held serve throughout, sending the set into a tiebreak. This time, Federer played with more freedom and composure, edging out 7-5 to stay in the match. The fourth set was just as tight. Neither player earned a breakpoint opportunity and it went to another tiebreak. Nadal jumped to a 5-2 lead and was just 2 points from the title, but Federer clawed back, winning 4 straight points to take a 6-5 lead and earn a set point. Nadal saved it, then earned a championship point on Federer's serve at 7-6, but Federer saved that too. Nadal earned another chance at 8-7, this time on his own serve, but Federer denied him with a brilliant backhand pass. He then earned a mini break and served it out at 10-8, forcing a deciding 5th set. In the final set, neither player backed down. With no tiebreaks back then, a player had to win by at least 2 clear games. At 7-7, Nadal finally broke through on his 4th opportunity, putting himself in a position to serve for the championship. Federer wasn't done yet. He saved a match point and dragged the game to juice, refusing to let go. But Nadal stayed calm under pressure, held his nerve, and on his 5th championship point, Federer's forehand hit the net. Nadal collapsed to the grass in celebration, claiming his first Wimbledon title. For Federer, it was a painful defeat. His incredible 40-match winning streak at Wimbledon had come to an end, and with that, the chance to win a record-breaking 6th consecutive title, something no man had ever achieved in the Open era. He had shared that record of 5 straight titles with Bjorn Borg, and now the opportunity to surpass it was gone after nearly 5 hours of brutal back-and-forth tennis. This was the first time Nadal had beaten Federer outside of clay in a Grand Slam. On top of that, a few weeks later, Nadal officially became the world number 1, ending Federer's historic streak of 237 consecutive weeks at the top. In number 1, the 2019 Wimbledon final defeat to Novak Djokovic. The 2019 Wimbledon final was the longest final ever played in the tournament's history. Already an 8-time champion, Federer was chasing a historic 9th title. At 37, he was defying age and playing some of his finest tennis, having cruised through the draw and delivered a masterful 4-set win over Nadal in the semi-finals. The first set was tight, both players holding serve throughout the set. It went to a tiebreak and Djokovic edged it 7-5 to take the first set and the early advantage in the match. But Federer hit back hard. He broke Djokovic twice to raise to a 4-0 lead in the second set and stayed in control. He broke again to take the set 6-1 in just 25 minutes. The third set was tight with both players serving well and not giving up many chances. Federer earned a set point at 5-4 on Djokovic's serve, but Djokovic held firm. The set stayed on serve and went to another tiebreak, and once again Djokovic came through. He took it 7-4 to claim the third set and move ahead 2-1. In the fourth set, both players held serve until Federer raised his level at 2-2, earning 2 break points on Djokovic's serve. He converted at the first chance to take a crucial lead, then broke Djokovic again to go up 5-2, serving for the set. Federer had a slight dip though, as Djokovic broke back to make it 5-3 and held serve to put the pressure back on, but Federer held his nerve and closed out to take the set, leveling the match at 2-2. Both players held serve early in the final set. However, in their 6th game with Federer serving at 3-2, Djokovic broke to take a 4-2 lead. Federer quickly responded, breaking back and holding serve to level it at 4-4. From there, both players continued to hold serve, pushing the score to 7-7. At 7-7, Federer broke Djokovic's serve to take an 8-7 lead. At 8-7, Federer had 2 championship points on his own serve, a golden chance to close it out, but he couldn't convert either. Djokovic held firm and broke back for 8-8. Both players then held serve all the way to 12-12, sending the match into its first ever 5th set tiebreak at Wimbledon. Djokovic took control when it mattered most, breaking twice and closing out 7-3 to win his 5th Wimbledon title. This had to be Federer's most painful defeat. After the match, he said, "I don't know what I feel right now. I just feel like it's such an incredible opportunity missed. I can't believe it." He had never lost a Grand Slam final after holding match points until this day. Federer outplayed Djokovic for much of the match. He hit more winners, 94-54, won more games, 36-32, and more total points, 218-204. This would turn out to be Federer's final appearance in a Grand Slam final before he retired from the sport 3 years later. Before we wrap up, here are 2 more crushing defeats that came close to making the list. The 2014 Wimbledon final defeat to Novak Djokovic. In a thrilling 5-set final that swung back and forth, Federer saved a championship point in the 4th set and battled back to force a decider, but Djokovic held firm. breaking late in the 5th to close out the match. Federer was aiming for a record 8th Wimbledon title to surpass Pete Sampras, which made the loss especially tough. The 2011 US Open semi-final defeat to Novak Djokovic. Federer was in full control, up 2 sets to love, and later holding a double match point at 5-3 in the 5th. But Djokovic stunned the crowd by saving both match points, then turned the match around completely, winning 4 games in a row to take the final set 7-5. It was the second straight year Federer had lost to Djokovic in New York after having match points, a brutal repeat that was hard to take. Another chance at a 6th US Open title had slipped through his fingers. And there you have it, Federer's most painful defeats. Alright guys, do you agree with this list? Would you have ranked these losses differently, or is there a match you think deserves to be in the top 5? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the bell icon to tune in to more videos.